Gangache Gabachuan and Tangmi Parian, Nika the Sanji Jukabanti. Sending to start, sending to the Gabatriba. Junde la Sidinilla, Terrachivas, Nitsidinilla, Terrachivas, Gangating, Gijin in a chalk and Lamarin to Sejuba, but it's cheaper.
So now we are on page number 56. It says the correctness of such offerings. Then the root text, it says, for then even eternal nitnyam, okay, Buddhahood itself, hard to find in countless millions of eons, is given in this very life to be who strives, right? Let's say the Kanchi Keba Chawai Chame by Sangin Zhendenla. Okay, I don't see the Zhendenla part in this translation. Oh yeah, maybe it's hard to find. Oh, maybe no, not this. Anyway, it said that the Buddhahood, is first of all, it's very difficult to find, right? Difficult to find, and then in the text is for the Buddhism is hard to find in countless millions of eons, right? It's given in this very life means like giving this in very life means not just this life means. Here it says Zhunden, right? Zhunden. Our life, this life is, we call it Zhunden. Zhunden means like anything. If we wanted to have, we need to put lots of effort to do that. It doesn't anything. It doesn't comes any naturally or anything. It's anything like it doesn't comes easily. Sort of like for us, to gain anything, we need to put lots of efforts. So this is not this kind of period of time right now. So even like this very difficult to find this kind of Buddhahood. So then the Lama is the one actually able to give us in this very bad time, sort of like. And also you can find that in different texts. I think it's in 6th session Guru Yoga as part of the devotion to Lama or the pressing to Lama, that section. It said that means like from the because of your kindness, and then means like I'm able to gain this Buddhahood in instantly in this short lifetime. So that and the prayer and this prayer is very similar. So basically it's saying that even though this is a very bad time, not easy to gain anything, you need to put lots of effort. And sometimes they call like we're very Zhunden is the worst time of the era, sort of like you can think of that. So then even though that time, so then the Lama is the one who is actually able to give us this very precious the Buddhahood in very short lifetime.
that the Nadi, you do it to the Sanji want to Jebraba. Which is that sentient that there are Chibichin. Nagatibalatin. There were Chibayasa, coming to Gijin in a chumba, Lama in the Nadi to Jilimentele. That the very coming to Gijin in a chumba, Lama in the Tabu, relative said, did the Chiba.
So yes, so again, this prayer is made to the Vajra master. So Vajra master means like it. The idea comes because it said that if we relying on this Tantrayana, and then they relying on this Tantrayana in this very bad time, then still we are able to gain Buddhahood in a very short lifetime. This time. So this is the idea, Ken. So that's why it said on the prayer again it says. Due to your kindness, so then I'm able to achieve this Buddhahood in a very short lifetime. That's why this is the reason why I make homage to you. So this is the prayer in Sixth Session Guru Yoga.
Tatu rangitam jisum, tatu tishin shibachu, tatu lama layam bus, tati tamjisum siati. Tatu rangitamji sunjitamji sunya tatu tishishebale chubajia tatu namala pua bilua wati tati jungitamji sunseti timbari rangitamji sunati chikche tatu ane tatu tishishebale chubajia chikche tatu namalaya Lamalaya Chubapia Sumbuti Tamji Sumsiati, Gingi Tamji Sumsiati.
So then move to the next verse. It says, always keep your pledge, always worship the Tathagatas, and always offer the Guru. So these are the Gyungi Tamziro. Yes, these are the three. It called Gyungi Tamzik in Tibetan. I think the routine pledge or routine samaya or routine commitment, or that means this commitment you keep in your life on daily basis. Sort of like this is like this kind of place needs to be make a routine in your life. So then it says always keep your pledge, and then they worship to Tathagata and always offer to the Guru.
That dini siati, that do nama layan pu siati, this dini siati, tati pu guyati karasan, sanje guindatra, mese dini debayi, chungse yimu kantakam, shindu kepa jubani, deta dini lama pu. Dije sanje tamjela, da jimba nitu juru. Jele chuba puna sanje tamjela jimba. Sanje tamjela chuba pua dituburis.
So the reasons why you need to do this samaya on your daily basis is this now, because the one who wishes for the inexhaustible should give to the Guru whatever is most desirable, and whatever is most special is making offerings to the Guru. Let's see, anyway, so the reason was because the Dini means the Lama is like the embodiment of all the Buddhas. He said that it should be somewhere in here, I think. I'm making offerings to the Guru, one makes continue offerings to all the enlightened ones. Yeah. And so so this is the reason. So it's because the Lama is representing entire Buddha. So that's why you do these three pledge, right? Routine pledge. Oh yeah, practices. And then the text goes on like the one wish for the inexhaustible should give to the Guru whatever is most desirable, and whatever is most special is making offerings to the Guru. One makes continual offerings to all the enlightened ones. Yes.
Tatila Kingi Tamji Sum Siati Tamji Sumti, Tatu Rangi Tamji Sunyat Chiche, Rangi Kalambit, Tomba Yerva, Tombata Tamji Sunyat Chiche, Tatu Tishi Shibula Chubachiat Chiche, Tatu Lama Laya, Pus Lama Laya Chubachiat, Sumbukita, Kingi Tamji Sum Siati.
So again, Gungi Tamzik. I think they did English. They translate as a routine pledge. You call it routine pledge? I don't know, right? Tamzik is samaya, right? The pledges, right? They said. Anyway, so the always keep your pledges means you should keep your samaya, your vows, all the time, right? Always, all the time. And then there's always worship to Tathagata, make offerings to Buddhas, and then that last one is make offering to the Guru.
Dine Sangye Kunda Dras, Lama Chupaya Tikarasane, Dine Sangye Kunda Dras.
So the next line is says Dine Sangye Kunda Dras. Dine Sangye Kunda means refers to Lama, and Sangye Kunda Dras means the Lama is like all Buddhas. So this is the reason why we need to keep all these three routine pledges.
Mese Dini Debaye, Mese the Sanji Kubate Debaye, Kingse Yu Kandakan, Rale Jumse, you do Juna, the Karine, you do Kandakane, Shindu Chaper Jubani, Dini. Dini, Lama Pus, Dalama Pus, the Jinsanje Tamjela, Datu Jimbani, Lama Puna Sanje Tamjela Chubachi, Datu Jimbani.
And then another reason is said that Mise Dini Debayi. Mise means enlightened. Here I think they're translated as indestructible, right? Indestructible, I think that's the inexhaustible, yeah. So inexhaustible in Tibetan is Mise. That is reference to Buddhahood. Okay, Dini Debayi means like we are inspired to achieve that kind of level, that kind of attainment, right? The Mise or the inexhaustible, I don't know, so the Buddhahood, okay? So then so then once we obtain little beautiful objects, right? And objects, Shindu Kepa Juba ni Shindu Kepa, yeah, especially, and if it could be special and stuff like that, then the Lama will then make it offering to Lamas, right? That is because giving it to a Lama is like giving it to all the Buddhas.
Okay? Diji Sunam Cho, that is Sunam Chos, Cho, the Sunam Cho, the Shi Cho Singing. Then say Jimba, the great Jimba, to su charge, to Sukanga Sunam be Cho Siri, Sunam Cho, Shi Cho said, do need to be shitty, Shi Cho Siri. That Sunam Cho, the Sanji Sugudubache. 이시가 저기 산지기 추구두비지 추수군이 지기 다때 소는 그 조세야디 산지기 수구두지리 네 이시가 조세야디 산지기 추구두비야들이 추수군이 있어야지 누가 이 추수군이 뒤두지들 소는 그 조도 이시가 조세야.
So the next line is Dijin Sonam Chok in the Chok Chok means by making this offering, then we can accumulate merits, and accumulation is just accumulation. There are two types of accumulation. They call like accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. So then the accumulation of merit is to achieve Buddha's what's called the sonam is called the karil resa sonam is called
sonam is Jim,
But it's the good, good. Sugu, okay, the form body, okay, form body of the Buddha, and then the accumulation of merit actually helps us to achieve the truth body of the Buddha, right? There's two kinds of Buddha's body. These are the two kinds of Buddha body. So by doing these two things, they actually helps us to obtain that. Okay, now the accumulation of merit means like a practice of giving, generosity, like practice of generosity, morality, and so on, right? All these are considered as accumulation of merits. And then the accumulation of wisdom means like meditating on emptiness or suchness. So there's that kind of merit. Then the merit comes from that kind of practice. It's called the accumulation of wisdom.
Sonam go chodan, yi go cho ni saya jeri. Tangan ju jimba dang da cheme pyo da. Se jimba da tene nasa pyo la so tu sukanga sonam go chori. Dikan jesu kangalo sanji gi sugu jeri.
So then again, accumulation of merit means like making offerings, food offerings, and then the cloth offerings, and the water offerings. I think it's water offerings. All of these are practice of accumulation of merits. By doing these practices, as we accumulate merit, and that becomes the fundamental causes of our the Buddha's form body. So good,
yeah. I think Sanji Kula Suguda Chukusni, Tina Shingi, Mandu Chosa, Sonum Cho the Ishigucho Sinier, Sonum Cho said the Chimbata, Soba Gombata, Chudum Suma to Sukanga, Sonum Cho Sinitri. Ishigucho said the Arani Tombani Gombati Ishigutori, just a DJ. Then Sonum Gatobi Garitugure Sugu Nambaniari Lunguta Drugusiaji. The Sugu Nambani Sena Lunguta Drugusiaji, Titu Chigri. Yishiguto said the Garituga Chigri Senani Yishigutogi Chugu to Vachibaris, Chugu Teleniari. Monikuta, Ishichukus near Sanji Kushi said, Odiri, Sugunambaji, Nichugu, the Ishichu, Monikus, Nietzsche, Tele Sanji Kushi said.
So, our goal is to obtain enlightenment or Buddhahood, right? So, Buddhahood has two different qualities, two different forms, sort of like two different forms. One is called something the Buddha's body, the form body, and then the truth bodies. Right? Sometimes there's a form body is like a rupakaya, right? And another one is called what's it? Dharmakaya. So Dharmakaya. So if you go with the Sanskrit, right? And then these two major things. This is the quality of Buddha. So then, in order to achieve that, so we need to accumulate or acquire corresponding causes and conditions for that. So then the causes and conditions for the truth body is the accumulation of merit. Right? No. Form body. Form body is the accumulation of merits. So the accumulation of merits, you can think of like a perfection of generosity, morality, the patience, and so on, right? And then another body is called truth body of Buddha. So the corresponding causes would be like fundamental cause would be the accumulation of merits. So this is meditating on the emptiness. So then the truth body has, again, there's two kinds of truth bodies. Right? So the one yugo means like how do you say? One yugo, nature body of the Buddha. One yugo, the Ishichugu, wisdom body of the Buddha. So these are the two the bodies of truth body. Truth body has two different kinds, right? And then the form body has, again, two kinds. One is called emanation form, and the Sambhogakaya. Sambhogakaya, I don't know, enjoyment body of the Buddhas. So then it completes the four. Normally you may hear about like when we talk about the Buddha's qualities, the Buddha's body, then you will say like a four body of the Buddhas. This is how you make four bodies of Buddhas.
진소 최순 다 진바제 추dim제 서바숨부들에 쓰는 거 조세야리 진바다야디 쓰는 거 조는데 근데 추dim승야디 쓰는 거 조지 근데 서바구미야디 쓰는 거 조 진바 추dim 서바르바 진소 최순 대답 선음 조세야리스 산계의 군이기는 수부족지들의 접해서 선음 시계 초장 등이 스타지도 아니 먼저 진보다야지 아니 그래
서바
수dim제 서바 손부디 선음 그 조세야리 근데 주기대 선음 그 조다 이시기 조 니가리야리 다티네 이시기 조세 3대 3대 그래서 그래
3대 셔럽
띵이 공부한테 3대 설바 3대다 셔럽세디 심바 추딤 서바 존주 3대 셔럽스 두여바 디나니 셔럽다 3대 공부한테 땡이지 구미야디 이시그 초르디 준주디 선은 그 초다 이시그 초 니가르디 아니 다 진바제 아니 추dim제 서바숨디 선은 그 초리 어디에서 초디를 선은 그 초디 이시그 초 니바
So when you look at these perfections, the first three perfections are practice of perfection of the generosity and the morality and the patience. These are primarily for accumulation of merits. And then if you look at the last two, the perfection is meditation and the wisdom. These are primarily for the accumulation of wisdom. So then right in the middle we have efforts. Efforts can be both. It requires for both. So that's why it's like kind of like a neutral. If we associate with the first three perfection, that becomes like accumulation of merits, and if we associate with the second two part of the last two part of the perfection, it becomes the accumulation of wisdom.
어다디 진바디기 그래서 진소 추승 대답하면지 대화시비
대화시비 김반 남아
진방에 남라가 나서야디 진바제 추딤제 서바숨부디 진발은 아버리지 그래 삼대한테 셔럽디다 럽도 주말은 아버리지.
So then so we break these two section of the practices, and Buddha said that the practice of generosity and practice of morality and practice of patience are actually more kind of how to say not means like a more let's say it means like a more supreme to lay person, something like that, lay persons. Yeah. And the last two practices, like a practice of meditation and practice of wisdom, is more what you call supreme to the ordained community. Yeah.
어디 다음은 저 서바디 침발은 아빠 인체브레 침발을 가를 내가 마부치고 봐 아니 서바금이야 그 뒤주디 마부라기 야르바 안테 컨트롤해야 시만 부용이 야르바 컨트롤해야 시간 걸어디 서바금지 줄을 두고 야르 되네 어디에서 진소 최승 대답하면지 대러시비 침반남랑 나왔어. 진바디 침발랑 나와버리겠어. Chudimdi Kimbalanga Paris. Sobati Kimbalanga Paris. Chudimdini Kimbalanga Dakaris, Chimbala Chudim Miticho di Mambuche Yerba. Did you Chudim Sumia di Pukuk di Mambu Yerba? Ani Sobakumiati, Conduloniati, Yoloniati, Legamabuche in the Condu. Kumabuche Yerba. Condu, yes, you can go to this Sobakumiagi. Tiri Genshiri Sobakumiagi. Sobakum Side Susule Miripa Jesuna Sobakum Titu Gongurva Namjuti Samdere Gomje Detu Chambati Sobakumiagi Genti Chegi Amarva. Talega Mampuche into Chamba Condoloni Mampu Yumurva. Titu Sobakumiagi Genti Mampucheri. Jins Sobati Chimbalangapa is Chimbatoyati Chimbalangapa. Chita Rabtu Chuata Chimba Karasure Chimbani Chitu Chimbati Longchu Chua Yerba. What the Insani Chimbatomati Chimbati Chimbalangapa is Ani Jinso Chusum Deda Pamachi Chimbati Chimbalanga Paris. Sudum Suyati Chimbalanga Paris. Chimbala Sudum became Sudum Gigant Mabu Tegriarva. Then Sobakumbati Chimbalanga Paris. Jinso Chusum Deda Pamachi, the worship Chimbanamlangas, Sangi. Chimbanamlanga Paris, so the Chimbala Sobagonguri said, Sudim Sunguri said, Chimbatanguri said, Chimbalanga Paimari, Chimbati Chimbanga was Dutch, Chimbatayagi, Mobuti, Chimbalam, Gugati Mabuyarva. Then Sobakumiati Chimbalam. Mampuyari. Someday Ravichi Gomje Tina, someday Gomje Tinitilla, Sobakumia Kayamarva. Kula, never Chinya Kayamare. Never chair me to them by Sobakumia Tinguyamarva. Sobakum said, never Chinya Tatus and Sobakum. Jenata Jitin Chimbanamla, Lega Mampuchiku in December. Karesugre Kondoloniarbuta did Kondrushima Buteriva, the Tigris and Sabakumiati, Kimbalangapari Jebre. So chosen Deda Pamuchi, Deviship Kimbalamanga said Sabakumiati, Kimbalangapari.
So then the first three perfections are more available, so like for practices of all this first three perfection is more available to lay person. For instance, if you look at the practice of patience, the practice of patience is more available for lay persons, because lay persons, they need to carry out their daily life, and they're going to encounter with many different peoples, and they need to face with many different opinions and different kinds of things, right? So then each time when they face this kind of thing, and so then they have to be patient, more patience with that kind of thing, that kind of situation. So that's why it says it's more it says more supreme. This kind of practice is more supreme to that person. And similar to practice of morality. So practice of morality is like they unknowingly and involuntarily we break many, as a lay person, right? They break lots of many vows and stuff like that. So then if you if you detect them, if you encounter them, if you just face with them, so then you have more opportunity to do this kind of practice, the practice of morality. And then same to the practice of generosity. So practice of generosity actually involves material objects, right? So then if you compare to the ordained community, so they don't have that kind of access. So then the layperson, they have more access to gain material objects. So then when we make practice, in order to practice generosity, most of the time it involves some material. So then this is more accessible for laypersons, right? So then on the other hand, if you look at the, let's say like a meditation. So if you're a meditator, so then they don't have opportunity to do these three such a practices, and practice of generosity, and practice of morality, and practice of patience, right? So let's say like if someone is a meditator, so then normally people, they don't sort of like don't mess up with this kind of individual, right? So that means like so it's like he get like a more kind of easy time, sort of like don't have like very difficult time like laypersons, right? Laypersons, that's why they have less opportunity to do this what you call the practice of patience, right? And then the morality, same thing, morality, since they're like isolating themselves, there's no less opportunity. And then the practice of generosity, they're lacking that kind of material objects, so that's why they don't have the meditators, sort of like they don't have opportunity to like extensively sort of like to do the practice of generosity. So that's why in the text Buddha said that the first three perfection is like a practice of generosity, a practice of morality, and practice of patience is more, like ngapa means, ngapa literally means like a supreme to, or more, maybe here I would say like more available to laypersons. More opportunity maybe.
다도 진반이 되죠. 디지 수능 초인데. 다디 디지 수능 초인데 세디 상계 탐제라 다도 진바스 제디 다도 진반이 되죠. 상계 탐제라 초밥 피해야 되다. 상계를 초밥 피울 수도 상계를 지다 진벌을 봐. 상계를 초밥 피울 수도 상계를 진바스야 되긴 말. 상계를 피워서야 돼. 진바스는 피워를 붙이려 봐. 상계를 진바스는 상계를 피워서야 돼. 뒤에서 상계를 초밥지야 돼. 상계를 피워를 봐. 어디 상계 탐제를 따도 진반이 되고 디지 수능 초인데 상계를 진바제나 초밥제나 진바스는 초밥제는 아니 수능 초사버리스 아니 수능 소 사나 가르스는 무주 탐제 투그리스 초래 무주 초도 주스 자 무주 비난에 초도 주어디 상계 고만들었다 초무주 시여봐 초딜레 때는 상계 군이는 수능 초래 수군이 주비야리 이시그 초래 추구 주비야리 초래야디 초딜레 언제 초사스비 초스 사세야 초딜레 니야리 수능 초세 이시그 초세 아니 초바프 진바다 아니 진짜 제바들에 수능 초세게 아니 대권한이 초바세야지 야리 이 시그 초세야지 대권한이 초바세야지 상계기 투주를 초바 표현할 때는 동반이 또 이시 충분히 매버지에 주나 아니 대권한이 초바세야 이게 상계기 투주를 가랑지 진법 표현할 때는 상계기 투주를 대화침부 충분히 매버지 그래 대화침부 사도 투야 야말이 때 난주 매버지 그래 매버지버디 아니 손은 그 좋았어요 내 상계 탐지할 때니 진바당할 때니 돈이 대권한이 또배 진배 코스 라시매버 또배 시럽제배 매버지도 이시그 초사하시게 등은지 수능 초사했으니까 Sunam the Chota Sasus Yerba, Sunam the Choti, and the Dachuma Mamputi Yadilis, Sunam the Chobi Zedirba, this Sunam the Chosiamare, Sunam Society, Ishigito, the Sunam Society, Kasakuran Yuli, Shabu Yari, because Sunam the Choto Jisha said in the Yamare, and then the Choba Piogi. 제 도스를 첩에 제시게 첩에 동문에 파샤우리 첩아스디 첩에 제들 때니 산지가 투지라 더 준비 시지 충분히 제수는 디 초스게리 초스 수능 그 초스 수능 그 초스야디 그게 뿜샤버디 수능 그 초야 말이 들어 말이 붕샤버티 수국이 지금 말봐 그 지기야 말봐 쓰는 거 써야지 그 붕샤버티 퓨어를 때리면 줄 계좌 치사기야 봐 딜레 쓰는 거 써야지 어디에 미슈지기 피게 야 붕샤버티 슈베 제리 슈베세디 슈베 제들 때니 아니 계획자와 시작이 여러분 어디래서 초스 쓰는 거 초스이야 어디에서 쓰는 거 초디 나는 좀 마시고도 키야야 그래서 저 침말에 집이야 이 봉샤부터 키야게 매봐 어디래
다들 이게 대권한 얘기 취업할 때 이식이 취업 이식이 있어요. So then, in the line, in the verse, it said that by giving this to Lama, and it's like equivalent or the giving same as to Buddhas, Buddhas, right? All the Buddhas from 10 directions. Yeah? So then, by doing this, then it says it will accumulate merits, right? So then that merit actually brings Ngudup Chok. Ngudup Chok means supreme attainment. Yeah. So again, supreme attainment in reference to Buddhahood, and especially here in reference to the Buddha's form body. So then it said in the line, it said that making this offering is to making offering same as making offering to Buddha. So then when we make offerings to Buddha, so it said that we accumulate merits, right? So then, so then when there are different types of offerings, the what you call the outer offerings, inner offerings, and secret offerings, suchness offerings, and so on, right? So for instance, the suchness offering, right? Suchness offering is like when we make offerings to Buddha. So then, by making this offering to Buddha, so then we need to think or visualize that offering caused them to generate or experience a great bliss. Yeah? So that is a form of offering. That kind of offering is called that is, by doing this kind of offering is called this kind of offering actually creates the accumulation of wisdom. Okay, wisdom. And then suchness offering is, for instance, like seeing the three circle of what you call this 3 spears, right? 3 spears. Then sometimes they call 3 spears, right? And sometimes they call it like agent, action, and what is the object? Action. This object. Okay, object. Seeing all of them are lack of intrinsic existence. That kind is called the 3 spears, right? So then, if you have this kind of awareness or understanding when you make an offering, that offering also becomes accumulation of wisdom. Yeah, wisdom. This is a little bit different, right? Wisdom. Then visualizing, generating great bliss, and in deity is accumulation of wisdom, and then seeing all object as 3 spheres is also accumulation of wisdom. Okay, this is a different thing. And then now when we make an offerings to Buddha, so then we visualize that Buddha is being experienced a great bliss. So then it doesn't mean that like he's experiencing a new or fresh kind of great bliss, but we are visualizing that he like Buddha is experiencing that kind of thing in order to accumulate the merit for ourselves. So that's what we are visualizing that. Just it's not that like we are offering or they're gaining some sort of like experience from our offering. It's not that. So this is like this is a way to accumulate something for ourselves. So that's why we visualize. We visualizing in that way. And then when we said like making offerings, right? The offerings they involve some objects, and this involves some intention, right? And then how can we actually accumulate this the merit and the accumulation of wisdom? How do we accumulate them? So like the object itself is not offerings. So then it's not offerings, and also this is object itself is not the accumulation of merit or accumulation of wisdom, right? So because whatever we make this, whatever we use object for offerings, it will remain here. It will never go to Buddha land or something like that. That object should be remain in here. I mean, like in samsara, right? But when we talk about like accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom, we are talking about something that is going to the traveling to sort of like in becoming the Buddha in the future, right? So then the object is not going to become Buddha in the future. So then how do we understand this is that when we do this, making offerings to them, when we visualize sort of like when we visualize Buddha sort of the experiencing great bliss, by visualizing that and using that as an object to factor to call like a secondary factor to cause that kind of experience, and that by doing this, then we said that it actually creates some kind of virtues in our mental continuum. And then meditating on emptiness, same thing, it creates some kind of virtues in our mental continuum. So this is called accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. So this is the one, that quality, internal quality, sort of like, that becomes Buddha in the future.
Rangil Habel had two, the don't use me, Shikumiati, Tuji Nejos, Jetesa, Kusum Tuji Nejoni, Damjiti, Taught Sumasho. Kusum Tu Sumbati, Penal Habel Haina, Dromaina, Dromeku Sum Tu Sumbati, Tautu Rangi, Yamnetia, Queen Yamne Karajura, Round Dromea. Sakulukung, Drumalak, Gigi Drumalaki, Ani Drumelhulikiati, Hainejos Sache, Drumelhainejos, Ani Sung Seati, Drumetas, Umtari to the Seati, Sung Dice, Sung di Diati. Sungine Josaji. Two Dedonis may she said, Manadu two Dedonis may she did. Give him never Chibura, Rani Chidu to Maravajilish, Kursian Suna, Goody, Rani Trochitu to Mangu in some Bachawiari. The chain Rani Mount Banachitu to Man Juyag in the Bachiagari. Rani Chitu to Mangu in some Bacha. Teachers, Mount Panachitu to Mavi to Yavichito Manajutana to make Kukum Yerba. Then it soon the Chitu to Magi Sunganta Yerba. This Dawal Jenny, Mount Panachitu to Magi, soon to be in the Vishagari. And 제주 주막이 투 대통령이 시세들바 안 중에 저희 제주 주말이 주네 아니 투 대통령이 시디 이 공배 뭐지 공부를 봐 공부지에서는 아니 투 주변 것이기를 봐 어디에서 사이 구승 투지 내전이 담지디 따도 숨어지고 사이 남주랑 그 사이까지 제주 좀 지기는 제주 좀 구승 투 내줄때 따도 지고리스 따 담지세데 돌미로 말하지 따도 지고야 돼 담지 숨생데 그 공부 숨이 다와 투 아니 공부하셔야 돼요 아니 따도 숨어져 알려야
So then go to the commentary on page number 57. It says, always keep your pledges to perform the yoga of merging with the essential reality of one's special deity, body, speech, and mind. So this is the first kind of pledges, right? So then let's see, if your deity is Vashasattva, so then you visualize yourself as the Vashasattva. That is here it says. And maybe it says yoga, it says perform the yoga of merging, right? Maybe I will say the physical yoga. So physical yoga means generating yourself as that deity form. So that is physical yoga. This is one of your samaya, right? Pledges. And then the speech, the yoga of speech is like reciting mantra of 100 syllables. So that will be Vajasattva's speech yoga or samaya, right? And then the mind will be the meditating on non-dual great bliss and emptiness. This is like non-dual great bliss and emptiness, voidness and emptiness. Like the bliss and voidness, they go different ways, right? Different translation. And also and if your deity, let's say if your primary deity is Tara, so then same thing. You visualize yourself as a Tara, and that is the physical pledge. The physical yoga that is one of the pledges. And then the reciting Om Tari Tutari Turi Soha is the yoga speech, Tara yoga speech of Tara, sort of like. So then there's also your pledges because we related to the deity, and then the mind, and again meditating on non-dual and emptiness, and any deity. If you have any deity, you can take on. So this is how you keep your samaya, or here it says pledges. Pledges with like your pledges is like the related to relationship with the deity. Some because of the rangi deities.
Rangel habel
all deities now.
Kusum tuji nejoni damji tatu sum jete tatu tatu to jesembala subeti shisheba namla cho yung su bar cheri cheris tatu to jesembala subeti doji chance giri doji semba sene doji chance se jibari doji sembala subeti shisheba namla 다디네 디시 도지 창세는 디시 셰바디 리투젠의 도지 창제 아니 디네 넘버나테 딘주 아니 데이트바 아니 바메 아니 넘버나테 아니 그래
데이트바
데이트바 스차트 디시 셰바 릭주스는 도지 찬스자 릭나셔는 아니 그래서 그래 여바니 데이트바 넘버나데 아니
넘버나데 여바면 넘버나데시 아니 넘나데시 다 나요 다 장데
어디가지 어디가서는 데리 디시셔벙아세야 주바 어디텔 링아세야 릭주샤는 도지창디 네베 자우르 제네티네 도지창의 수버스 두게 도지sembal의 수버스야 도지창의 수버스 도지창사 도지창버스 sem버스는 지버르스
So then again, this the commentary goes on always worship, the second part, right? Keep always worship. In order to complete the accumulation of merit, keep always worship with inner and outer offerings, making it two that they what you could pervaded space, the Tathagata, like Vajrasattva, and so forth, similar. Anyway, so this, it's just a little bit different here for me. Anyway, so here says the Vajrasattva and Tathagatas, right? Vajrasattva is, Vajrasattva sometimes again, it could be like a Vajradhara, Vajrasattva could be Vajradhara, and a Vajraholder. You go with like different names, right? So that means like Vajradhara, actually talking about Vajradhara. And when it says Tathagatas, there are 5 Tathagatas, so there are 5 family Buddhas, right? The Ratnasambhava, Amoghasiddhi, and Virachana, and Amitabha, and Amoghasiddhi, right? Apshobhya, right? These are the 5 family Buddhas. Then sometimes you will hear like 6 family Buddha. If it says 6 family Buddha, that includes Vajradhara. Okay, here's Vajrasattva. So it completes 6 family Buddhas.
That just about the stupid Shishaba Namna say Didi River. So young to Toba Jerichir. So young to Toba, so city. He told the son of Jiba. The so young to Toba Jerichir. Karichibures Chi Chuba, the Nangi Chuba. Chinagi Chuba, Chuba Nangi, Nangi Chuba, Jella, Chuba Joes, Chinagi. Chi chuba se de young ala subati medo dang dubi dang mame dang ani shese dang di chi chuba ngasene sugi chuba dai chuba di chuba roi chuba reje chuba se di chi chuba ngase di ri ja chu telin de young ay sigeri odi chi de young adi DJ. Ane Nagi Chubas in Nanchu Pusajitua. Dear Nagi Chubadia, Nangi do young ayari. Chubel Hamugi do the young ayari. Sudeba Ro Sudeba Reja Jamba. Ani Danyemba. Ani Simba. Neronga, Subayarba. What the Nangi doing Nasiri? What is the Chinagi Chuba City Chi Chubaji? Nangi Chubas. Chi doing Nangi doing Ayari. Nechubatina Nang Shus Yaji. What that is. Chinagi Chuba Namgi, Nangi Chuba, Jala Chuba Chos. Chinagi Chuba, another Chuba Shimdu Tamba Chuba, most Shamyati, Chuba Ted Jirimania, and it Susu Yiki Puni, Namge Kam Tamjalani, Chuba di Capsui, Chuba use some Jenny. You Chineti Mambu Beni, Namge some Tamjali. Chubetegi, Chabatu, and Pusuna, Chuba Chimbi together, just a Chubati, Chinagi Chubanam, Namge Chabar Jella, Chubachos. Was in another Chubaji Yap, Shaseji Digi, Shasetigi, Namge Kam Tamjeli, Shasegi Chabaraj, and it dear Pubi, but the Jena, Chubati Gachimbi. Young somebody deadly Yamarba. Dinner Shiji Chuba dinner Namge Kam Tamjali Chuba. Dias Chubati Noble Pusun Toba. Rob Pusun Toba. The Ganju Oma Sune. Any Kado did Navigation to Ziku Sejuba. Kado Nyamba the Pajang, Jingamba the Jang, Nubangamba, Salia, Nubangamba Yari, Nadagia Dan, 지기 내 요야다 디디기 네번에 바야르바 두수 파장 가동에 버디 파장 딩에 버디 파장 네번에 버디 파장스 엄마 아웅스의 가도들 네베게 좀 디세도와 엄마 아웅스디 저네 아니 단대 야 피야 디직샤버디 가동에 바야리 로디 나는 주사야 그럼 주야 디수리 지미시야 말봐 디디 가동에 바 파장 엄마 아웅스기 가동에 바디 파장 딩에 바디 파장 네번에 바디 네번 카리어에서는 제투슬 내기야 네번야르바 사담 마틴이 내기기도 봐 어디서 네번에 바디 파죠 딩에 바디 파죠 동에 바디 파죠 카도 디르네 베견 좀디 뒤지리 주스 아니 뒤지 주스 나오면 봐 맹기 뒤지 치워면 봐 뒤지 체 뒤지 사범이 시기 뒤지 그루스 디레지 매베제 아니 앞으로 이버리 세상은 주가 피디 가도 되는 베견 좀 가동해 봐 딩해 봐 네번에 봐도 스파 좀네 다바체 엄마 숨디기 줘야 되게 이게 뒤차서는 엄마 숨지 내지 숨지 왜 봐 되게 가동해 봤다 딩해 봤다 롱해 봐 그래서 네번에 봐서부터 스파 좀 아니 뒤지도 봐지 옹기만 못배 홍기 홍기 가도 좀 괜찮아 뒤지도 봐지 옹기만 못배시 배워 주시기도 봐 어디나 시전에 엄마 숨지뒤 파장야디 숨도가 다디니 디파장체도 가도 뒤로 내게 숨디 파장이야 가동에 버티 파장 진행에 버티 파장 네번에 버티 파장 어디 전에 엄마 숨 가도 뒤로 내게 좀 뒤지리 줄었어 아니 뒤지셔야지 주변에 같이 아니 앞으로
Yes. So then it said the Vachasattva and the Buddhas, right? So the Vachasattva or Vachadara and the Buddhas, like there are 5 family Buddhas, make all 6 family Buddhas, right? These are the these are the beings whom you are making offerings to. Okay, this identifies that. So then after that, then it describes how and what kind of offerings you offer to them. So here says the Tag to Dojisam Dishab Nam La offer to them. So Yonsu Zoba Chavichir. So now it takes like reasons why you're making offerings, right? So Yonsu Zoba Chavichir means like in order to the complete my accumulation of merits because of that, right? So that I'm making this offering. So what kind of offerings you're making, like the Chi Nang, right? Chi Nang Gichoba. Chi Nang Gichoba means outer offering and inner offerings. Outer offerings and inner offerings. Outer offerings refers to the 5 5 sensory objects. Okay, 5 sensory objects that will be like the sound, taste, touch, the form, sound, smell, taste, pleasure, the touch. These are the 5 out of the sensory objects. So you're making offering these are outer offerings. So now the inner offerings is inner offerings you can reference to the inner offerings. It comes in our original the sadhana practice. It's like contains with all these substances, 10 different types of substances, and then turn them into nectar and stuff like that. It could be that offering. And then another inner offering could be like, for instance, when we make an offerings, so we emanate the offering goddesses. Right? So then the offering goddesses, they have, for instance, offering goddesses, they have like beautiful form that will be inner offerings, the form. and they have like very beautiful sound. They will be like inner offering sound, and they have like the touch and smell. It was just these two sound, T smell, raw taste, and raja is touch. So anything that so the offering goddesses have all these actual objects on her body, sort of like within herself. So that's it. That will be like inner offerings. Okay, inner offerings. And then here it says outer inner offerings, and then fill that in entire space. Fill it up with like entire space. So then how we do this, right? So then so we have like we may have arranged one piece of bread on our altar. So that is just one piece, right? So then we need to fill the entire space and make an offer to Buddha. So this will be done mentally, okay? So then even though if you have just one piece of bread on the altar, then imagine this bread is like, kind of like fill up the entire space and make an offer to these beings, right? This is how you do. Like when it says like fill entire space, it means like imagine that if you have one, you can imagine numberless of offerings. Or if you have like in terms of size, if it's small, you can imagine it's like extensive, like big, sort of like that. That way you can fill entire space with like mental kind of like visualization, right? So then I care about the chapter so teaching look out that so then again, when you make these offerings in the beginning, you need to bless them before you make offerings. Like you can do it with like a Om Ahum 3 times or Om Ahum 3 times. That will go. Now the bless means like when you make an offering these objects, outer offering objects, right? So then let's say if it's a food, a piece of bread, it's said that. So then so we need to eliminate. First, we need to eliminate unattractive kind of appearances out of this object, right? Some food may have very not kind of like an attractive kind of like appearances, so you need to remove that, make it present it in a very attractive kind of object, right? The kado, this is kado. Tea means a smell. So then food normally even though they have smell nice, the fragrant smell. So then that also comes with some part of this like has very bad smell. Sort of like you need to remove all that. Kado, kado, tea, raw means like taste. There's some undesirable taste. You need to remove that. Nuba means potential, right? Potential or some maybe if it's the food, you can say it like a nutrition, right? So then so some food, even if it's like a food, you take it, there are some substances that can actually cause problem in our body. So you imagine you are taking out all these kind of substances that may cause some problem in your body, sort of like you take away that kind of defect of all this. Then you make an offer, make it pure, like presentable and pure and nice smell, and then make it offering to this the beings, right? So then that can be done very easily. Like for instance, if you recite Om Ahum 3 times, so Om Ahum, then when you recite Om Ahum 3 times, so then Hum actually takes away Hungi Hum Kaduchi Rugi Jun takes away all the faults, all the defects, right? And the when you say that transforms into nectar. And then the then also actually make it inexhaustible. Yes. Yeah. That means like make it like inexhaustible, right? You can think of that reciting 3 times, right? So when it says turns into nectar, so nectar, then you should imagine that nectar has 4 qualities. So nectar means in Tibetan is a du zi, okay, du zi. Du means sort of like mara. Zi means like I think they said exceller, right? Exceller. It has like a elixir. It had elixir. So that means like it has a property that can change from bad to good, sort of like that, right? So then du for Mara would be like, transform them into duzi means. So then duzi, one of the duzi could be like medicinal that actually overcomes our sicknesses, right? Now me duzi, chiwa duzi means like, and then the chiwa meba means deathless, natural deathless, okay? Chiwa meba duzi shan karsa. Now me duzi, chiwa meba tse duzi. And Sapa meba yishi duzi, yeah. Sapa meba yishi duzi means like, the what you call the removes the Sapa meba. Sapa meba means, I think they translate it as uncontaminated, right? Sapa meba yishi duzi means uncontaminated. Transform them into uncontaminated wisdom. Okay, so then these are the three qualities of the offerings. So there again, so this all this series of things, right? You need to think like, they are pure and they're take out all the defects, transform them into nectar. Nectar means that kind of quality. Then you need to make an offer to 5 family Buddhas.
남지 윤도 쳐봐 저 도나다 메데 피야 야 아니 치 쳐봐 남기 쳐봐 지나기 쳐봐 탐제당 성신기 동남 윤도 쳐봐 저 성신시대 야 성신기 쳐봐 세네티 롱주가 Chubati, Mobu Sansing Buas and Sansing Buas and the third Namju suited the rich. So in the Yarba to Sansingi Chubasig, Sansing Pusina Sagul, so but the Pia to the Sansi. Sansingi Chimbaton said to do a Sansingi Chimbaton said to manage Kala Jaya, Yanichi, Tabachi, Mubu, Tosukangalo, Sansingi Chimbasi. Churches in Basiati, church in Atriba, Sansingi Chimbasiati, Chimbataya to the Sutra, the Kangayarva, Tosutayati. 아니 상신기 짐바스게 제사 지나게 추바 탐제당 상신기 동 남진균도 추바죠 시 추바 남기 추바 상신세네다 아람지 롱주야 두수인지 시 추바세네 매도 야가지 통순에 수수기 추바 표주게 두기 저바 수예동아 토냐다 다예동아 고야다 딘데 지체네 다님부 주고선에 딜람사 상계리 추어 피야야리 사시비지 중심에 도다 레르네 신이 되지고 상계신은 두근 남다시라 추어 쇼스 말한지 뭐 예동아 통수나 아니티 매대기 된도 샤베 매버제네 사시비지 중심에 도다 레르네 신이 상계신도 밑에 두근남다 신의 초바쇼스디 쉐바디 메데 퓨버리 메데 퓨세데 퓨게 요아두스 간가 상계신도 밑에 퓨와 예세네 상계신도 밑에 퓨와 두근남다 신의 초바쇼스 퓨게 겨자와 들었더니 로아 탐제 남다기 신 상기 주고만 토가 쇼스이에 제사 루근 남다 신의 주가 쇼스지도 추바 피야 디피발 때니 계자와디 로아신제 탐제 남다기 신의 주가 쇼 상기 주고만 토가 쇼스이에 제사 추바지가 루근 남다 신의 주가 쇼스 예담 구루라는 미네라가 디야다이 메시스기도가 어떤 추바지 가라지 표현에 누군 남다신의 추버쇼 세우에티 로아 탐제 남다가 신 산지 주고바 토버쇼스 di di chimbayina chuba phubayina di gewe zawa di moya di rugun namda shina chuba shu roa rangi samlong ma tambaje roa tam sinja tamje sanji ji kuba thoba shu gewe zawa dile teni sigre ye chimba tawa dile teni chuba phuwa dile teni nye suna samudawa dile teni oda garesine rugun namda shina chuba shu roa pama sanje tamje ne sanji ji kuba thoba shu sine rugun namda shina chuba shu sigere odi insa nde chuba phuwine da chimba taine miyu de sanje tamje gi tuntu sanje tamje gi tuntu tamate chijugere rugun namda shina chuba shu chuba phuwe gewe zawa dile teni roa sanje tamje namda gi shindu chuba shu sanji ji kuba thoba shu siyarabchi.
So then on page number 57, the big paragraph in the bottom or third line from the bottom, I think the big paragraph starts with always keep your pledges, right? So in short, offer mandala, every inner and outer offerings and material gifts, something material gifts as explained above. So here it says offer mandala, or you can do mandala offerings, inner offerings, outer offerings, and material gifts means it could be food, flowers, clothing, and stuff like that, right? So then these for instance, like offerings is something that you can do all the time. Let's say like if you are just walking around and if you see a beautiful flower, so like beautiful flower, just bring that in your intention, and then you can make that offerings to Buddhas. So Buddhas and while you're making this offering to Buddha, you can simply recite the 4 lines of mandala offerings. He said that the mandala offerings like Sashipyogi means like this the lapis ground, Mount Meru, sun, moon. This right here, this right, and then the second 2 lines it says the Duganamda Shinduchub on the Pasan. Sangishin to make the pure means I'm making offering this to lead or have all sentient beings to obtain enlightenment, right? So you can simply do that, like recite all these 4 lines, right? And then when you see flowers, just bring in your intention, make it offer to them, offer to Buddha. And then recite these 4 lines. So this is actually a form of offerings, right? So then again, when we make offerings, when we do like anything, we try to do like some dharma activities, you should always include entire sentient beings. So in the line, it said that like in order to help all sentient beings, right? Similar like that, you should bring in your intention entire sentient beings. So that way, so then that you make sure it becomes Mahayana practices.
That Medeta Chinagi Chuba Tamjeta Singi Don Namgi Yundu Chuba Jaus, that is Yundu Mende Puris Nichi Chuba Nagi Chuba Takanji Chuba Tamjegi Tamjetan Chinagi Chuba Tamjetan Sansi Don Namgi Yundu Chuba Jaus, that Yundu Chuba Jiatile Menteje Nichi Chuba Nagi Chuba Ani Sansing Tamjetan Sansingi Sansing Silit.
So in Tibetan it says at the last the sentence it says Gyundu Chopa Cha. So Gyundu Chopa Cha means practice this every day. Okay, so that means like you need to make mandala offerings every day and outer offerings every day, inner offerings every day. That means like there's something means like material offerings every day. Like and it's Gyundu Chopa Cha means every day.
That Gyundu that Dojin Yimbu Genji
Some the Chaka Simbo to Tibetan Gimbe.
어래 Yeah, just do it.
Okay, so let's have any questions. Michelle asked me to track the time. Seems like it's a time that he wanted to stop. Any questions? No? Yes, yeah.
Like earlier in the text, it mentioned a few times the 4 types of activities, and it says the Lama can accomplish those. So like one way it said is through fire pujas. Then I think also it said like through mantra.
Mantra, yeah.
Are there other ways that Lamas accomplish the 4 types? Like, are those the main 2 ways? Are there other methods that Lamas use to accomplish the 4 types of activities for the benefit of people? Is it just through those 2, or are there more methods yet?
Then this is the Lama ki chawa diliyo. Lama ki chawa diliyo. Then the leshi chayara, shiki wanta ki leshi chayara. Leshi di ani ngala teni chayara, zela teni chayares. Nga chi ya nga tel teni chayara, zela teni chayares lara. Nga the zela mayin be ani the kaso the dishi di kalawre. Leshi di nga the zela madin be leshi shinda chaya yorubes lami. Pena cho simji ki tuyin chaya chido.
That leshi di shive lerba.
Chige wanda ki leshi yoral. Ani di nga da zela teni chaya yori lasons. Ta the simji ki tuyin chaya chido rata simji ki tuyin chido. Simji ki tuyin chaya wala ya nga da zela madin be leshi chene simji ki tuyin chaya yorubes.
Leshi chene.
Leshi nga da zela madin be ani leshi the simji ki tuyin chaya yorubes. Leshi de la tene. She don't want to leshi la tene. Something to change.
Tatina do dear, but then leshi said it. Nada. Tell my baby. Already.
When I was at the Palore church now, and I think I had the zeal them in the river. I had the zeal of a stem river.
Didn't not tell them
Maro.
Mariti.
She don't want to let me see Mara.
She says Marba. Joe, she don't want to less guessing Marba. She will less it. Neshi was a Chita Chitu. Can't have a tissue lady here. When Neshi Chitu. Net a Mugile Super Shiavi Chitu. And it's Chubar Chesuni. She Laura. She lady. Neshi of it. The murder Mugula Soba. Any Mugila Soba to the Shiavichitu. A Karichevi in a Chu Karita Chevi in a dirty, she will lady here.
Net Mugis, my Jagadun trouble letters. Let Net the Shia to the Mars Jagadun trouble letters still.
My Jagadun trouble letter. My Jamuguli.
Anyway, so the Rinpoche's first response was that seems like the 4 activities that do with mantra and substances that covers pretty much everything. Was the first he said that, right? Then the second he said that let's say when you make an offerings, then if you intend to pacify your illness and illness, so that act could be the peaceful activities. Now you can, yeah.
Neshi to Chubapuni, she lady. Sunaji Tansuni, she lady. She said Neta.
So like peaceful activities and pacifying, we say that peaceful activities to pacify something, right? Pacify your illness and what you call this pandemic. Mugi means pandemic, right? Pandemic. And what you call this war, right? Fighting battle. So then if you make an offering in order to diminish all these things, or you make what you call this recite some mantra to pacify war and stuff like that. If you do this, with that kind of intention, maybe they may call peaceful activities. Okay.
Yeah, can you repeat the 8-syllable mantra? I missed that.
8-syllable mantra?
Yeah, which one?
8-syllable mantra?
Yeah, you said.
Oh, okay, now I get it.
You
This
said-
is in,
Yesterday you said that?
okay, yes, 8-syllable mantra, or sometimes there's 8 lines of praise.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 lines of praise. It's in, let's say, how to say, what is the first line? In Tibetan, I know, right? The Sanskrit one was the Om Varahi, what is the first one? That is Tibetan. That is Tibetan, right? Tibetan. If you want to do Tibetan, that is Tibetan. There's another version in Sanskrit. What is this? Om Bhagavati Vajavarahi Om. Okay.
Oh,
You know that this slower. Okay. If I do slower, I won't get. You need like a special tongue for that. This is in 6th section Guru Yoga Sadhana. If you are doing Vajrayogini, it has the Sanskrit one.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe you can Google now, right? We can Google.
No, I get it now.
You got it? Okay. Okay. Okay, you?
Yeah. So, actually, I had a question about suchness offering. So, different offering we talk about. Rinpoche said offering of suchness. So, we could do a offering of suchness for all 6 perfections, like generosity, ethics, patience, joyful effort, and so on and so forth. It's easy to understand up to patience, because all those 3 you could somehow say subject, object, and the.
Oh, okay.
How do we really do offering of suchness for, say, the concentration or for the wisdom?
Oh, when you wanted to make offerings, the object as 6 perfection.
Right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, still I don't see. Anyway, so this.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, I will ask the question though. This is when again the deconan you chop say jora. Deconan you chop say the cosumi batavores la sosa. Cosumi batavores is zambala the pena the chobar jipi on to Tana has the purging troop. Chobar jipi on to Tana, Selva to the she Korangeta, Kosumi Bata to dosa, you said to Ues or dosa, Kosumi. The something the share project and the Chobar gets a Chobar Chipi and Dilla Kosumi can establish. I can Kosumi Koranchik sooner.
Kusumi Mesati Buset Chiche, Buopo Chiche, Buyavi Chubat Sumbuti, Mimi Basse the Rashing in Meva. Mimi Bassati, Zan Meva Siamari, Rashing in Meverage, Samni Priatile.
The chip Kosumi, but the Chajil has some shower, Zedi shower, Chawat
Jajil
Chajil is
Yeah, Buset Busetice,
Busu Yudice,
Bubace, Bubace, Buyagi Chavati Sumbuti,
Chawadi Shawra,
Rashi Meverage.
Zed Marwala. Let's okay. So a suchness offering, idea of suchness offering is
Javati,
and the idea of suchness offering goes like this. You have agent, right, and action, and then the what you call this object. We call it object. Okay, agent, action, object, right? So now the agent will be like someone who is making offering, right? Me, myself, sort of me, right? Then the act of offerings that includes object of offerings as well, right? Act of offering is another one. Okay. Now that the place you are making offering to is object, right? Object is the object. If you see these 2 things, is mimipa means like mimipa means non-conceptual. Huh? Mimipa, yeah. Mimipa. Objectlessness.
Yeah, meaning.
Oh, mimipa.
Lacking inherent.
Yeah, so in other words, that means lacking. Yeah, Ramesh said like that means mimipa means lacking inherently. We are not saying they are not they're not exist. We are not saying that, but they are lacking inherently exist. So okay, so this is called three spare offerings, three suchness offering. Okay, now do you see any problem?
No, but how do I do that for other perfections, like for wisdom?
Okay.
All six of
Still,
it. This would
okay.
be an object that I get, right?
So now here you're using this perfection as an object of offering, right?
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to, so what I'm trying to say is say up to when offering, meaning it's an object I offer, right? For second one, morality, it means, you know, I want to do something, but I'm not going to do something.
Oh, okay,
So
now
I'm
okay.
going to say I don't exist, and I
Okay,
shouldn't do
okay,
that
now I
action,
get
that
it, okay,
doesn't
you
exist,
mean,
and so
okay.
on and so
I
forth.
see.
So I can go up to patience, like
Yeah,
patience
yeah,
I would
yeah.
say, all right, I don't want to get angry because I don't exist, that doesn't exist. But how do I do that for
The meditation,
meditation
and then okay.
and the wisdom?
Okay, so you're looking for something solid. You want to hold on to it. I see. Okay. I see. I thought this one. So, but this year, Jira, the current happens so pen a super singer, the current chicken, the Yuve solution. Jundu said the length of Namlin Yuve solution. Since you use a penata, the someday the sheriff singing the Latachi, they may be solution, they may be solution. The dick and this in it, maybe but this tower is serious.
Something said it, something said it, teaching was said it, thing is said it, thing is the airbound.
According to what they did again, Tapena the pure, the pure zest origin pure, Zetchin, Zeta, which in Mikochi and do see what they are. Someday the sheriff layer. When a party to Puna, party to pure Regina. The party to Puna is so young and pure Europe, but it's doctors pure China.
Rangi Julieta, Sheriff Pajirich said, Ania Pushana, Sheriff Pajiseti, do need to be sheriff. Shouldn't there a singing method? Sheriff
diffusion
said, and it is a fish had.
So let's say like wisdom, right? Wisdom. So then when you meditate on emptiness, so then you have some sort of realization of emptiness. You can use that as an object for offering. The realization.
Oh.
Yeah. And same thing for the meditation.
Right. That makes sense. Thank you.
Some seems tadako. Seems.
Any?
Seems sushi.
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, answer. No questions. Okay, then because the joy of my country, my is like him. Okay, so then we will end our class. Sa shi bege jong shi men do dang re ra li shi nin de gen ba de san ge shi no mi de wu wa yu zhu ge nam da xin la che ba ra shu yi da ma wu ru ra ra man da la ni ya da ya mi
Chanju, Semju,
che ma ge ba na ye ju che ye ba nya ba me ba ya go ne kong du pe wa ra shu
Gari,
Kurve Shingan Se, Pendan De Wama Lu Jung Rene, Jere Singwan Tenzi Yato Yi, Shabe Si De Vado Den Yo Chi.